I was looking at the app I like to use to find stuff to fix and flip to make some extra money when I saw the ad for this lawnmower. And unfortunately, it was not for free, but they were practically giving it away. Now the problem is that just because it might look expensive also means it could be very expensive to fix as well. And as you're about to see, this one might be one expensive project to repair. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at this very orange colored lawnmower. And the problem is that according to the ad, they hit something hard with the mower and now it struggles to even start up. I'm also not going to blame them because accidents do happen, but doing something like that puts your machine at severe risk. So here's some advice. I'd be very careful what you run over with your mower. So with that in mind, we better record all the stickers that we can find. That way if we need to order new parts, we can get the right ones. We'll then take a look at all the fluids to see exactly what we're dealing with, and this is when things go south. Now the good news is that we've got plenty of gasoline in the fuel tank. However, the oil is a different story as there's practically none on the dipstick after wiping it clean to get a really good reading. And without enough engine oil, it could slowly destroy itself after being used for a little while. So after laying the mower on its side, we can see if there's any damage to the blade from hitting something hard, but oddly enough, I don't see any obvious problems with it. But after a bit more looking, there is one small dent on this cutting edge. However, there is a bigger problem with it. From this angle, you can see that the blade is very slightly bent. So it does appear they weren't lying about it hitting something hard, but let's hope they were wrong about it not starting. So this is not going to work out like I thought, and that's because the recoil is not working like it should be. Now, believe it or not, this problem with the recoil is extremely common for Hondas. However, it is an easy fix, but we'll deal with that later on. Before we start to dig into the problems with this lawnmower, I would like to give it a quick cleaning. And yes, I've been told that cleaning a mower like this can be counterproductive, but it does give me a chance to inspect it for any kind of oil leaks. And with the engine oil being dangerously low, I believe there's a slow leak somewhere on this engine. I'm of course cleaning off most of the dirt and grime as well, just to make it more presentable when we do try and sell it later on. So it looks like there's quite a lot of dirt on the engine block and right under the front of the engine, meaning the leak could be located there. And if that is the case, it could mean this engine is suffering from yet another common problem, which is an oil leak from the camshaft, which is not fun to fix. Now you do not have to go this far cleaning a lawnmower that you plan on selling, but it doesn't hurt to do it either. Also, these plastic front covers make it look nicer to consumers, however, all they do is trap dirt after some time. You don't need to clean this area all that often, but every couple of years would be beneficial. And after its final rinse, we'll let it air dry, or if you're short on time, you can use a leaf blower to speed it up. Now because the mower blade hit something hard while in use, we'll need to take off the starter cup to inspect the flywheel key for any damage. Now you don't need to use an impact to take this nut off, but if you don't, you'll need to find a way to keep the engine from turning. So what happens when the blades stop abruptly is that the flywheel can't stop as fast, and that ends up shearing the key. That means the magnets on the flywheel will be in the wrong location, causing the spark to happen at the wrong time as well. Now the problem is that the key is really tough to see without taking off the flywheel as well, so I guess that's what we'll have to do next. Now the design of this flywheel is a bit different to the Briggs engines which I'm used to, causing us to have to do it this way. So unfortunately, the flywheel did not break free from the crankshaft, so we'll just leave it this way and see if it just needs some time to think about it. And in the meantime, while we wait, I guess we could drain the gasoline from the fuel tank and inspect its condition. Now the reason why is because bad gasoline might be the reason why it may not be starting. However, after looking at it and smelling it, it's definitely not stale and I don't see any water in it either. So it looks like we'll need to persuade the flywheel to come loose from the crankshaft with a couple of light taps from the hammer. This can sometimes happen when the key is partially sheared and causing the flywheel to jam against the crankshaft. But this time, however, that's not the case. So after taking the flywheel off, we can now see the key and it's in perfect condition. So if the key itself is in perfect condition, what about the keyway for it in the flywheel? Well, as you can see, it too is untouched by any kind of damage. Now that we know that there's no damage to the key or keyway, we now have to wonder why they were having a tough time starting it. But if something bad happened internally with the engine, then that might explain it, but I'm not prepared to take this engine apart yet. Now there is a way for us to test if the engine is in working condition, and that's making sure it's compressing air. And if it can't do that or isn't doing it as well as it should be, then that would explain it. And of course, the easiest way to see if the engine is working well is to use a compression tester. The higher the reading, the healthier the engine is, but it can also tell us if there's a problem inside it too. And to get the best reading I can, I'll be using my drill to spin the engine over. So after spinning the engine over with the drill, we got a reading, and what it says is fantastic. The gauge shows a pressure reading of 160 psi, which means the engine is in great condition, and that's despite the oil being low for who knows how long. So according to everything we've seen so far, with the key being in perfect condition and the health of the engine, it should start and run, so let's test it. We'll put the spark plug back into the engine, put some gasoline into the carb, and then use the drill to start it. Now I do have to be very careful because the mower is still on the table during this test. We'll just open the choke flap, spray some gasoline into the carb, and hope this works out. Now the good news is that it started and ran off the fuel that was already in the carb. However, the bad news is that the bent blade is causing the entire mower to lightly shake. It's not terrible, but it is bad enough. And I can already hear you say it, I didn't top off the oil before starting it, so before we do a longer test run, we'll have to do that. Now because I intend on doing a proper oil change after we get it working, I'm not going to add fresh clean oil to it. And instead, I'm going to add some filtered used oil to the engine. Also, be very careful and not add too much oil to the engine, otherwise you could cause more damage to it. Now for this longer test run, I am going to install the old air filter since it wasn't that bad, however I do plan on replacing it later on. There's also no reason we need to put the front plastics back on right now for this test run, but we'll do that later on. And besides that, having them off will help us to figure out if we do have an oil leak. I'm also very certain that the gasoline we drained out from this mower is in good condition, so I'll pour it back into the fuel tank. But if you're not sure about yours, then I would just put in some fresh ethanol-free gasoline in there. While that test run was a bit eye-opening, the engine only needed a single weak pull to get it to start, which is great. The shaking of course was still there, but we also got to see that there was an oil leak from the front of the engine. Now at first, I thought it was coming from the heat shield around the muffler, probably some residual oil from some work they did earlier. However, the leak is more than likely from a bad seal on the camshaft, which is not going to be fun to fix. I also did spray a lubricant into the spring area for the recoil, which got it working better, but we'll need to properly clean it later on. So the plan right now is to replace the blade with a new one, which should get rid of the shaking. We'll also need to repair the oil leak, and that should be it, right? I just wish it was that simple. Remember, the more stuff you have on your lawnmower, the more stuff that can break on it. So why couldn't they start this mower then? Well, if I had to guess, it was probably a combination of the bad recoil and having almost no oil in it, but I wasn't there, so who knows. So my question is, how often do you check your oil? As you just saw, this one was dangerously low, but if they had checked it more often, they'd probably still have this mower. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions about this project or about your own projects, and I hope to see you in the next video.